There you go, different tune for you this time, and I thought I'd show you a few of the actual tractors rather than just the front ends, but I promise they won't get any longer, and I will change it again. You don't have to sit through it all the time. I've been in the workshop all day, and it's been pretty hot, and I had my tea, and I was going to go back at the workshop, and I thought, no, I'm going to do another little vlog, and show you something different. I've had 2 or 3 people asking me when I'm going to talk about a county and when I'm going to talk about Fords and stuff like that, but always save the best till last. So we've got a little bit more to do. The things that said Dave's tractors are proven to be quite popular. We've topped 2,600 views for the last ones, which is, you know, pretty damn good. So obviously there's a few people out there, I hope it's the same people like it, but I think the best we did with 2,100, the last one was 2,600. So if it goes up 500 views every time I make one, you know, it's starting to get a bit sensible. I will try and shift this over onto YouTube straight away, because it's certainly easy to find. If you go to YouTube and put in Dave's Tractors, you'll find it. If you lose one of these on Facebook, there's no telling when you'll find it again. So that's the intention. Timmy's been busy with his truck again. He's been feeling the heat as well. So I brought him in tonight, and he's been working on a, dare I say it, a stationary engine for me. It's a Lister D, and the mission I'm on at the moment is building a trailer to show my stationary engines. Yeah, I've got some stationary engines, but it's all right. It's curable. No, they quite fascinate me, and I grew up with a Lister D engine. My dad had one on a shearing machine, and you know, we used to have to use it. It was the first engine I ever started on my own. So, you know, a little bit of affection there, and they've certainly done a lot of work over the years. So I've got 3 of them. I've got 4 of them actually, but one will never go again. But anyway, it's we'll see. I will show you what I've been doing. My failed film was about that, but I've given up on that now. I'm just going to take some photographs. I will have another go. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. So what I'll do, I'll start showing you what we're going to do, and I'll come back to you later. So there you go. Now, if you ask me what my favourite tractor was, I would have to say it's a Ford. And if I've got to pick the favourite Ford, I would have to say it was a County. Although County is a different brand of its own, really, it is Ford based, and most of them were Ford based. I've had 1 or 2 over the years. I've had several over the years. I've got several now, but the one I want to show you tonight is another big 4-wheeler I had. It was one I used back in 1970 for lime spreading, and I've always had a bit of a passion for them, really, although they've never quite matched up to the County as far as I'm concerned. But have a look and see what you think. So here she is, a Dutra. It's a bit of a beast. It was they were made in Hungary, and we had one for lime spreading, and it was an earlier one than this actually. It got a slightly less luxurious cab, although that doesn't look very luxurious. But it's got a, this one's fitted with a Perkins 6354 engine. It was an option when they were sold into this country, and if they're sold in Hungary, most of them have got what's called a, I used to call it cesspool until I got to know somebody that knew it, and you actually pronounce chapel. So C-S-P-E-L, I think it is, which to me is cesspool, but no, it's pronounced chapel. So I'll show you a little bit closer to it. This one's got, the engine starts right behind the axle, or right in front of the axle actually, and you can take that engine out, and all that is front weight, so it gives it marvellous traction, and you know, it just sits itself down and goes. It's a bit crude. If you get up in the cab, and I'll try and get there in a minute and give you a shot from there. In fact, I'll do that now, and then I can talk about it a bit more. So I'll have to put this down again. So here we are, mission control. As you can see, quite a lot of bonnet head in front of you there. And you've got this huge steering wheel. and lots of controls, and it takes a minute or two to sort it out. But you've got independent brakes, clutch, you've got air brakes down there. I don't know what that lever does. It does something. I think that's a PTO clutch. And throttle, there's obviously an accelerator pedal down there. And then you've got hydraulic controls at this side. And they're pretty basic, but my God, you get a play behind it and it'll certainly pull. We used to pull 5 furrows when we did a bit of ploughing, and it would bury it. Just keep on pulling. On a lime spread it was fabulous because you got all that weight across the front wheels, and you know, when the weight of the lime got to the back of the spreader and you hadn't got much traction, this thing would just keep going. Right, I'll get out from here a minute. Now you've seen the long view. So I've had this one about 5 years. It was advertised on eBay, and it was a bit of a puzzle. It was up at Kettering, which wasn't exactly local to me, but there was no price. There was no price, and there was no buy it now, and there was no way of bidding. It just said big 4-wheel drive tractor, Dutra, and if you're interested, ring a mobile number. And instantly I thought, this is a con. There's no way that's it. And there was a picture of it, but there was also a picture of another one. So there was 2 to sell. So that was number 1, and this was number 2. And anyway, curiosity got the better of me, and I rang the chap up, and lovely man, but he was determined they were going to be sold as a pair. They'd come off a farm in Bedfordshire. He dragged them out from under a hedge. He was a scrap merchant, as much as anything, but he did a bit of dealing. He didn't want to cut these tractors up. And it was difficult to get a price out of them, and I didn't really know what they were worth. I know what a count is worth, but we finished up. I gave him what I thought would be a fair price for a running one. Neither one was running, but as you see them, is pretty much what I got for my money. Tyres weren't too bad. This one's got a full set of weights on it. That one hasn't. When I got to them, there was no starter on this one, so I could get a lever in, I could turn the engine. So I thought, well, at least one turns. That one I couldn't turn. I couldn't shift it on the fan, but I couldn't do anything. But anyway, I made him an offer for it, and he accepted the price for the 2 of them, and that was deal done. And as it worked out, if I could have got one tractor out of the 2, I'd have done all right. I'd have got what I wanted, but I wasn't sure, you know, whether I was going to get 2. And I didn't intend getting 2. I didn't want 2. I wanted 1. So having done that, we've got to get them home. Well, I'd still got my Arctic then, which was all in running order. So we agreed to go up and get them. I wasn't anywhere near it. Ian, my mate that helps me, he went up to fetch them, and the guy that was going to push them on there. Bear in mind, on each of these tractors there was a flat tyre, and 2 were nearly flat, but he'd got them off there somehow. But when he got to the other end, scrap merchants are not the best people for loading what I consider to be valuable machinery. So in his efforts to get it loaded, he managed to rip that front cowling off that one, plus the radiator. So I wasn't overly happy about that. But that didn't matter. I knew what I got coming. Now I was assuming that one was seized, so I was looking on eBay again, and there was a Perkins 6354 engine for £350, I think it was, which was a good price anyway. So I bought it just on the off chance that I might need it. And so when the tractor got back, we'd almost immediately got to go back up near where this engine was, so Ian picked it up. Now, these were picked up in August, and our rally is in September, and I wanted to take at least one of these to the rally. So we got it back, blew the tyres up. I had to find a tyre for that one because the one tyre that was down was knackered, but that's all I had to put to it. Blew the tyres up, got them both on 4 wheels. This one we took and cleaned it off, cleaned all the green slime off. You couldn't hardly see out the windows because it was, algae come off the trees that it was under. And we said, well, what should we do? So we give it a tow, and we tried it. And I think we pulled it probably 4 feet, and away it went. And it was good, just sounded right. Everything about it was good. The only thing we hadn't got was brakes. The brakes weren't very good at all. There are air brakes on it, and the cylinders were seized up and wouldn't move. But after a bit of playing around, we managed to get the front ones to shift, and you touch the brakes, it nearly chuck you through the windscreen. This one, we've never quite had that luxury. Anyway, once we got that one going, we thought, right, we've got to do this one. Now we've got a challenge on. So we got the other engine back. We took the engine out of this one, and we put the new engine in it. And of course it worked all right, but it's like everything. Then I had to find a radiator because that had. I tried to get it mended, but once it was mended, it wasn't mended. It leaked like a sieve, so that was abandoned. And I knew I wouldn't find a second-hand radiator, but what I did know was what shape it was. So I spoke to Ron Greets, and they found me, they said they got loads of radiators there, described what I wanted, and they thought they got it. So I took the old radiator up there and found the nearest one to it. And I actually had a new radiator. It's not the right radiator, but it's the new radiator. It's nearly the right size, and all we had to do was put a pipe across the bottom because the bottom hose connected on the wrong side. Anyway, that job done. So we got 2 tractors running, and we were getting very, very close to the rally. And I was busy with the rally, so I had to leave Ian and my brother Graham getting these 2 tractors ready. And I really didn't know if they were going to get there, but they did. It was very much luck. That one certainly only ever worked on the handbrake, but we managed to do a formation run around the ring in the tractor parade. They went very well. Since then, that tractor, we haven't really done anything to it. It's still got no brakes. I have got a set of brake cylinders to put on it, and I will get those on as soon as I can. This one we have, although it doesn't look like it, we have played around with this one, and that's in good running order really. It looks a bit shabby, but if you've got any idea about these things, the tin work isn't that bad. It's not what I would call oily rag condition, but you don't have to do a lot to that to sort that out. There's no big patches of rust or anything in it. When you get to the cab, there's a little bit of moth around that, but the frame inside is good. And all we've got to do is peel that tin off, and that is just tin. You can see the joint there. It doesn't touch the actual frame of the tractor. And if we take it off carefully, we've got a pattern, and we can go around it with a cutter and cut it out and put those windows back in. And it's only really 3 panels, the front panel and the side panels. And the wings themselves, they've got a bit of moth there up by the window, but that's mendable. We can do that quite easily. So this one, we will revive this one and do quite a good job of it. It really needs a bit of care, and I've got lots of things. This thing's all right as it is. It's good fun. We can take it out occasionally, have a little roar around. The other one, it's also pretty good. The tin work's not horrendous. Those front cowls, you can still buy them new. I actually went to Hungary to a tractor show, which was just Dutra's, and all that bodywork on that tractor was there to buy. If I could have got it in my suitcase, I'd have brought it home, but I couldn't. But I know where it is. I know the chap that's got it to sell. So one day when I'm feeling flush, I might do it. You never know. Anyway, I think that's all I can tell you out here. So I'll... shot of the tractors arriving at the rally. Unfortunately, the film was crap, but it just, you get a touch of the sound really more than anything, and the two tractors arriving. If only the film would have been better, it would have been a cracking shot. But it showed what we did. Nobody that I know took a film of them when they were in the ring together. But the trouble is, if I'm on the microphone, I can't be taking pictures, and that's what was happening. So I didn't miss that. And then right after that, I'm going to show you a photograph, or some photographs of one I took in Hungary, the same tractor, and it's what it could look like, what it should look like. And this tractor that I took the photographs of had been restored, and it was a cracking job. I shall never achieve that, but that just gives you some idea of what it was like to start with. So anyway, that'll do for now, and show you that bit, and I'll just see you when I've finished. So that's your lot for today. I hope you found it interesting. As I say, those Dutras are a cracking tractor, and not necessarily before their time, because they're very crude. When I was doing the film where I was in the cab, because looking back at it, I got all the levers wrong. The lever I said was a power takeoff lever. It's actually the handbrake. You know, it's quite important, and I have hauled on that. I know what it's about. And the pedals, there's a different order for those as well. But there's a lot of levers in there, and you know, every time we get on that tractor, we have to learn how to drive it again, because it's a bit different. I've got a good friend, John Pickard, who's got a bit of an obsession with me. He's been a terrific help with advising me on these things, and helped me out with parts. And he introduced me to this show at Hungary. We went out there with him. You know, great chap, and he's got some beauties. He's got, I think it's 13 of them. So, you know, my 2 looks pretty sick against his 13. And he's got the same model I've got. He's got just about every model in the range. But, you know, interesting stuff. And he knows all about it. So I've got a problem, pick the phone up. John, what do you do with this? And he'll tell me. That's it. Timmy is... a mate of mine has said he's cutting hay tomorrow, and he said, would we like to go down with one of the tractors and turn some hay? I've got a Massey Harris, I call it a kicker, I don't know what the proper name is. It's not what people expect. So we'll take that. We'll probably take one of Timmy's standards down, one you've seen, but we'll have a little bit of action. Timmy wants to have a bit of action, so that's the plan. If it's looking a bit like rain out there at the moment, but I hope it's, well, the forecast is for none. So, you know, with any luck, we should be there. So that'll be the next time. And if the Dutra's interested you, I took loads of pictures and videos when we went to Hungary, and I might make a little bit of a, you know, piece to go on the end of this one, really. So certainly different. If there's any rally enthusiasts there, you need to see this, because boy, do they know how to rally. No, it's nothing like you'd expect, but you know, watch it. I'll put it up in the next 2 or 3 days, so that you can, well, you still remember these beauties I've got, and then you'll see what these Hungarians do. They eat goulash. That tells you a lot, because if you've ever eaten goulash, you would know what Hungarian is. It's nothing like Hungarian goulash you get here, I can tell you. I didn't eat a lot that weekend. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.